Blue-Red Giants. This is a deck we haven't played in Alchemy since before regular Kamigawa released, as well as the latest direct-to-digital Neo Kamigawa Alchemy release. So we've added some Molten Impacts, we've added some Channel Lands, we got some Orvars in both the main and the sideboard, with the red-black deck being popular. This also counts as a giant, so it gets protected by this. It enables Glimpse, it enables Quakebringer, so let's pop it into some games with this. It feels like on the surface, this should have a lot of good tools. We've got some quality interaction. We've got some really good card advantage with both Glimpse and Expressive Iteration. So let's see if this has what it takes to keep up in the current Alchemy format. You put a in front of this deck name at some point. Not need a 5th land here. Field of Rune Foretell. Okay.
Vengeance, bloody and righteous. You wish to know my secrets? Very well.
Listen, chat, at least one of them was a utility land, okay? Squash Beauty Vampire like bug! I feel like if this was a Doomscar, they probably would have played it last turn. Oh, I forgot that this trigger is on Wizards too. Yeah, it could be Angels. Hand, Library, exile. Could be something like Poison the Cup, yep. Could also just be a sweeper at this point. Two more basics in my deck, I believe. Rotation doesn't happen till the fall, Archivist. This upcoming set is the last set before rotation happens. I'll counter this unless they pay. So that way it goes to my bid. Obviously they're not going to pay, but this way it goes to my bid. So I can flash it back. Is this Doomscar? Oh, the top of their deck has just been so much better than ours, chat. One glimpse and one expressive iteration in 24 cards. Over 24 cards with bottom scries. Is it Poison the Cup? Are we dead? I'm not dead yet. Come on. Oh, we put a bunch of cards in the bottom of our deck too, right? From the other glimpses. Oh, I guess they got shuffled in between. All right, what was your face down card here? Actually, just another Doomscar. Okay. I know we were drawing towards Molten Impact at the end there, but I think it's worse than just like Squash and some of these counter spells. 3 cards over at the moment. Aegar doesn't seem particularly useful. I think I'm going to go ahead and trim a land here on the draws, or on the play, but just in general, go down to 25. Or 25 plus a bunch of cantrips. I mean, they probably aren't done 4 calls. We're bringing in counter spells to stop the calls proactively up front, so. Is mulligan to 5. Honestly, I think I just get second Hermit down and start beating down. I have an uplift desk that has given me a couple issues over the years, and their customer support was really mediocre. I've heard good things about... I actually heard good things about the IKEA standing desks, and I've heard good things about the... What's the manual one that you set on top of regular desk and it cranks up and down? Veridesk, I think? The issues I've had with this one haven't been annoying enough that I'm, like, willing to replace the desk, but... We're down for a threat here, huh? Also lets me recast the back of Glimpse long term. They have land into the 4-drop that makes me discard. I'm in a bad spot, City Stalker. Well, really, you should have some kind of tray on your desk, but I'm also not particularly ergonomic, John, and I just have a playmat over the edge of my desk. For the free mana to float. How many times do I need to teach you this lesson, old man? Tempo, running you down, do 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 do. We've got the tempo, we're beating you down now. Tempo. Xaxes. I'm happy with how he boarded. Counter spells getting to flex there nicely. Oh, we were the ones with the old man mood. Not mulliganing to 5. No good deed goes unpunished, chat. Just always keep my mediocre 7s. One kind of awkward interaction here is that my Rimewall Protectors won't give Quakebringer a what's it called? A ward while it's in exile. Oh wow, punished for not playing a basic land out, huh? I should have been thinking about that too. They showed us 2 Hagra Maulings in the first game. Definitely could have done that better. Oh my gosh, we get to untap with Quakebringer. It's like Christmas, chat. Library exile. This can be untapped. Land Meat Hook is not great. Land Farewell is not great. And we have Rimewall in place. So we're going to keep taking 2 from this. So Orvar actually doesn't stop Squash from getting discarded because this has 5 CMC. Orvar is actually a little awkward in this deck because we have a bunch of 5s. We just play this out because it's a giant for Quakebringer. I don't even know if Farewell is good. It just feels so bad to play against. Just no counterplay to it.
For the sake of all innocence, my will must
Just have to have a counter spell or bust.
Your blood will be mine! Dire times call for dire tactics.
So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do, 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 do. I forgot to exile the one from the graveyard. I don't think that they have any cards that punish us for that, but who knows? And we're again just like 20 cards into my deck, and I just actually have only drawn one of our 8 pieces of card advantage in 20 cards. Like our deck has 4 Expressive Iteration and 4 Glimpse. This finds a giant, and then finds us something else.
Finally, I'm home.
This is soon enough that if we have some okay glimpses here, we can still be in this game for sure.
You're done.
I'm taking Iteration and Quakebringer. The question is, do I want to Iteration this turn or Quakebringer this turn? I think it's Quakebringer this turn, right? And Library Exile. I could also, and maybe this was the play actually, maybe I'm supposed to Expressive and then foretell the Quakebringer. Because then the Quakebringer is safe in foretell and I'll get to cast it. Because the problem is if I miss on a giant in my next 4 cards, I don't get to, if I miss on a giant in my next 4 cards, I don't get to recast my thing from the bin, my glimpse.
Strike fast and strike hard.
There was some upside to kind of having a guaranteed. Whew.
I am faithful, bloody and righteous. You can deal with my servant.
I might need this to be an untapped land. This is actually fine, right? This is actually fine. So we go hand, library, exile, and then we kill both their planeswalkers.
I'll be back.
Magic Arena is just like slapping the top of our deck right now, chat. You can fit so many bricks in this bad boy. So many bricks. You know what's actually super awkward here? Because of the trigger, they get a window to kill this before I can glimpse. Huh? This might be wrong. Their artifact has just gained them so much life. That's fine. Think we're in garbage time? Completely disagree. I get that this current game of Magic that I'm playing doesn't feel good to play because playing against control in Magic never feels good. But this game is far from over. I have this Negate. I have an answer to their Bank Buster already rolled up in my hand. Like, I got to feel like we made some choices before this game ended. We had a lot of choices we made with those glimpses and stuff. I don't know if we made the right ones, but we at least got to choose. Yeah, the vampire's killing us. Every way to close it out. I mean, I literally have 5/4s in my deck that deal 2 extra damage every single turn. The problem is getting rid of the vampire. I also have Hall of the Storm Giants in my deck. Come on, chat. People are very bad at understanding when they are or aren't in a game of Magic still. Chat, I concede way faster than most people. If I am still playing a game of Magic, we have a reasonable chance of winning it. Yeah, no repeatable card advantage is a huge factor for sure. They also just, like, don't have many win conditions themselves. They actually have no creature lands in their deck, which is something. If I find an answer to this vampire, we're in a pretty okay spot. Now, a bunch of my threats are currently on the bottom, which is not amazing for us, but is what it is. They also boarded out all of their things that make me discard, right? Might eventually deck 2. We gotta kill this before we worry about them decking. That one's gotta go. Card advantage and threat all rolled up into one. Alright, we'll have one more draw here, and we may swing and miss, but I am pretty happy with my play this game, I think. Got some bad variance in the middle, but it's just how Magic be sometimes. There's a glimpse. There's an answer. Now we're playing a game. It only cost me 3, right? This is legendary. I don't want to play into the sweeper though, right? Maybe I should take the other threat. You're welcome to take full credit for my superior deck slapping. God bless. This is gonna be a little gross coming up. Look at this, rewarded for not doing this right away. Dress me, daddy. Yes, this is almost assuredly a Doomscar. You put it on mono sweep or treble. Yeah, basically. Alright, what's the last mystery card in our deck? Probably a land. That's a pretty good land, all things considered. Alright, we know the contents of our draws for the rest of the game. I don't know that I would say we've stacked the deck so much as we've, we just know what's going on, right? This is gonna be the real test. Can these two spells get us through whatever they have left?
Feel the energy of battle, then dive like water. Let your blade do the talking.
I mean, I actually don't know how many actual threats they have left at this point, right? Well, they main phase it to play around another counterspell, right? They have 2 vehicles? Okay.
Back to wandering.
But they also have to be able to draw 3 cards with. Oh! We needed that to be their last card, chat. I think the Abandoned Mire means we lose, right? Yeah, GG opponent. That's a good set.
I bring order to this broken world.
This much. I made some choices on our card advantage cards in the middle that maybe weren't ideal. It's close though. We were in that game right up until the end, chat. That land they had 1 copy of in their deck, and if it had been one of the bottom 3 cards of their deck, they lose that game, I think. I think there's a very real chance they lose that game if that black channel lands in their bottom 3. Because the vehicles would have needed to draw a lot in order to actually become threats. Yeah, exactly. It's impossible to know if I actually made correct decisions with those draw 2s. Like, taking a guaranteed threat versus another draw 2 is tough for sure. Bottom a Hermit here. Another black deck. I'm shocked. Well, not shocked, but you get it. Excuse me? I love it when my draw 2 draws a draw 2 chat. It's my favorite kind of value. It's like when you cast Dig Through Time and you get to see another Dig Through Time. You're gonna City Stalker connoisseur me, I can feel it. Ugh. Why must you hurt me this way? I think Dig Through Time is playable in his dark. Yeah, definitely. Dig Through Time seems playing Pioneer, right? I'm pretty sure. Pioneer staple, lovely. We've played Mind Link Mech Calamity Bearer. If you didn't see us do that, there's a video up on the YouTube channel, Lola. It's quite good. It's definitely something we'll do again at some point in the future. Probably this week, honestly. It's been a week or two since we played it. Huh. Hand, library, exile? Maybe I'm supposed to take the Hermit and just play the land out from my hand. Yeah, I don't know that I like my sequencing this turn. Decks like this always have a lot of micro choices like that. You make so many little decisions in a turn. It's frequently easy to mess them up. Yeah, there's a lot of permutations when you're playing cheap cantrips. Excuse me? Friendo. I don't have triple red, so I actually can't kill them this turn. If I had a third red, I could have Calamity Bearer and Molten for lethal, but... Orvar in hand is nice insurance against them shredding us. We also have our creature land and this. It's in a pretty good spot overall. They are also dead to Quakebringer if they can't take my giants off the board. Need to answer a lot of things. Orvar, Negate, Testatalents. Molten Impact seems key against their Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Can't decide if cutting a threat here is correct or not. 16, 19 plus my creature lands. Might be 2 threat light. I'm at 25 lands with the 3 Shatterskulls. Anything else you really want to trim though? Yes, we'll mulligan. Let the greed consume you, my children. I ain't going to 5 cards against the discard deck. This hand's got an Orvar in it. Our odds of drawing land number 2 with this hand are much higher than our odds of winning on 5. Just gonna go ahead and keep this and cross my fingers and hope for the best. Let's draw a blue-red duel on 1, huh? Wait, did they just put me on the play? Why do people keep putting me on the play, chat? Oh, this is the same opponent that did this to us yesterday. Got it. The Alchemy player pool is really low. See, we'd have hit it on turn 2 if we'd have been on the draw, chat. Quakebringer is such a tilt chip. Someday 5 drops won't be soft banned in this format. Feels dead, man. We definitely need some Doom Blades. Or for them to play Plunder the Undercity. Well, now they're never casting a discard spell. Yeah, Quakebringer being in our hand there. So, definitely not ideal. Okay, well, they have a dead card in their hand. So that's nice. They're actually just playing Test of Talents for the mirror. Off of, like, 4 blue lands? Really? They have, like, 4 Forsaken Crossroads and, like, 2 Pathways? That's crazy greedy. Guess they have some treasures as well. Dead. Alright, I'm gonna choose to be on the play again, and then I'm gonna hit my second land on turn 2, and it's gonna be great. I believe in us. Is the bot still missing the new Capenna Alchemy cards? Can someone try and look up a different new Capenna Alchemy card? I'll have to ping the bot maintainer, if so. That's not a new Capenna Alchemy card. That one is. Yeah, it looks like they're missing. Two lands in 2 turns, chat. Saying it's busted. Rest me, daddy. Dead, Jim. You've killed him. Alright, they're missing a third land. Glass half full. All right, well, they're just as unlucky as we are, chat. Whole cosmos out there I would like to see, chat. Feel the quake, baby. This is a really big brain skill game my opponent and I played here, chat. You can feel how smart we both are. And the incredibly complex choices that were made during this game of Magic the Gathering. Alas, one of us was more cunning, so we were the victor. Chat, do you want to hear something adorable? I saw a post on Twitter from someone that said maybe they're increasing the prices of paper Magic the Gathering products by 11% because they're going to increase the quality that the foils have, so now they won't curl. I just bless their heart. It just... Oh, God, the copium, my sweet summer child. Oh, man. I would ask who hurt them, but we know. Ooh. Yeah, that'd be giants. Have a giant good time here, Chip. Giant good time. It's really strange to me that they didn't template Protector to work with the Foretell Giant. Because, like, they knew these cards were going to be in the format together, right? In fact, could we get a power level increase on this card to include Hand and Exile? Next balance patch, Watsy, that would be a good change. Hand and Exile, please. Actually in a pretty okay spot here, right? We're cracking him down to 12. We got a counter spell on board. We've got some card advantage rolled up in hand. Another City Stalker Connoisseur wouldn't be great for us, but... yeah, this is our second deck of the day. Archivist. I'll play like 2 or 3 more matches, depending how long they take, and then swap over to Unite. Sedge. Still taking 9 here. They're still going to 9 here. Sorry, not taking 9. Offer this trade, I think. They have to take it. This is a little bit worse against spot removal, but it's like marginally better against a meat hook. Oh, it's worse against Invoke, too. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. I don't have a blocker, they're dead. Hall, the Storm Giants is really good in this matchup. This is my creature land. There are many like it, but this one is mine. This is our red-black plan. Orvar in, counterspells in, cut a Calamity and Shatterskulls and Squash. Okay, I think I like it. EV Halp, thanks for the follow, by the way. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. Would love an Orvar in my opener against red-black. Thank you. Test the talents up, in case they painful bond. Yeah. Chat, you're allowed to play your instants at sorcery speed. Oof. 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 Oh, man. Got him. Ha! How's that? Well, they would have drawn 2 cards. They still get to draw 2. Yeah, I mean, they weren't out of that game. Like, it feels bad because they sequenced him properly. They should have just, like, played their card on their turn instead of being cheeky and playing their instant speed. Like, it's not like they had a removal spell they were holding up. You want the real value play on your instant, chat? If you think your opponent has a counter spell, but you still want to get value out of playing your instant speed card at instant speed, enter combat, and then during the end of combat before your second main phase, cast your instant. Oh, we played a Tinkerer's Cube yesterday, Physicist. You can find that on my YouTube channel. I don't know that I intend to do the Tinkerer's Cube again. I think it's probably the worst cube on Arena. I'm a pretty big cube fan, and I'm not a huge fan of the Tinkerer. We did one for the season, but I don't envision doing a second. I don't think Kolga's even in the cube. It's not, right? You can't draft big, listen, shit, I'm a simple man. If I can cube draft big green idiots, I will have a smile on my face. But if I can't, it's kind of lame. It's like the third person we've had timeout on us this morning. It's real annoying. Hello, Bueller. Hey, chat. By the way, is Neo Kamigawa the first set we've gotten 2 different game boards for? Because we got this one and then we got the new fancy one where it rains, right? With like the neon lights. And you go back through their message history, Y6? It's so funny how people are consistently anti-change like that. Just like you've always been this way, and you probably will continue to always be this way. What an excellent removal. I already denied that unban request, for what it's worth. They submitted one and I promptly denied it. Okay, so they can finally attack in here. Pixie, thank you for the 29 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Definitely not trading. These both blue? They are. Okay, yeah. So I get to squash this. Molten Impact trigger kills this. Bolt this in, play this. Yeah, I agree, Slimunzi. It was weird to me that Kruga restricted all cards and Luris only restricted permanents. Wow, their hand must be atrocious for that to be their play. Actually just dead, right? This is 14. We should just be playing 4 Calamity Bearers. Cards getting good. Definitely not an Orvar matchup. Feeding Hope, Play with Fire, Squash all seem good. Definitely a kill all the things matchup, as I like to refer to them. I need to cut a 4 of. What's the 4 of that goes? If it's just Hermit. Counterspell is only okay. All right, let's try this. so the thing is, Wargy, like, when we occasionally have a beatdown draw like that, it's pretty good, but we're not always on the beatdown. Like, our deck is designed to be an interactive control deck with a good bit of card advantage. I'm gonna do this, and then we'll go Island Aegar, and then we can squash the following turn. And then not having a follow-up creature here is super good for us. We can even theoretically glimpse into squash. This card lets our removal spells draw cards and they deal extra damage. Think we should try using results-based thinking for a few matches and then decide whether or not we should continue to based on how that turns out. God bless, Twitch chat. God bless. I've been really embarrassing if we missed that land, chat. I think I want to just kill this and keep attacking. Because we can kill it, keep attacking, and keep the card advantage going while we do, huh? That's going to come back to their hand tier, but I can hold up Play With Fire now for it. So go. Like, their thing keeps coming back, but our removal spells are drawing cards, so we're keeping even on card advantage, and we're ahead on tempo. Yeah, in a creature matchup like this, Aegar does a lot, for sure. Oh! I forgot about the Molten Impact trigger letting us draw a card there. That was so good. Kinda busted, shit. We have to stack some counters on here. We have a squash, but they could theoretically get it out of 6/6. A 6 damage range. Are they just gonna attack? If they attack, they die to an untapped land. Card's real good shit. Is Calamity Bearer better than the Foretell Giant? So I don't feel like I have any spells I could cut, but that might be the case, huh? Because the Foretell Giant's also kind of awkward with both our... It's awkward with both Orvar in the red-black matchup, and it's a little awkward with this after you foretell it. Let's try and flip the split. That might be it. Might be the answer. I want to play the full Mind Link back deck again at some point. I think I'm going to put that in the schedule for later this week. This is trying to be a little bit more controlling than that. Calamity Bearer is pretty good multi. I mean, the 5-drop's not bad in multiples. I could just get run over if they're playing something aggressive, but I got a Scryland on the draw. I got an Orvar if they're playing red-black. We'll bottom that, hoping for a 2-mana spell in case they're white aggro. Plunder me, baby. Okay. Rimewall's gonna get to protect the squad here. Get extra creature lands here. I see capitals on your name there, Drunk Owl. Maybe you gotta refresh your browser page better. I see capital T, capital D, capital O. Scar me, daddy. Just let them keep shredding my hand. All right, the new cards have been added to the bot. We just hold on to this Crossroads to discard. Creature lands. Creature lands. Let's do it. Some counter spells, some extra threats. Really know what the opponent's doing. Some kind of Esper controlling thing. Listen, chat, you can call your name starting with a capital letter camel casing. Your camel's just got its head held high, okay? Chat, they played their bonded sorcery speed. That's crazy. We're so bad at hitting lands with our expressive iterations. What a crappy anticipate. I was anticipating my expressive iteration to be better than that, chip. Ace Defender is a tower defense game. It's kind of an everything game. It has some levels that are tower defense gameplay. It has some like 2D dungeon crawling in it. It has some auto battler type levels. It has a city builder. It's like a, think about a type of game that exists on mobile and it has elements of that. They like grabbed bits from all over the place. We're gonna spend the last hour of the stream playing it today. You'll see. All be clear soon, my child. I take the Hall of the Storm Giants, just pass with the gate up here, I think. That's true. Who doesn't love them a good Thunder Dunkus, really, Steve? I think I was going to use my Negate here because it spends my mana for the turn. Just want to hit a land drop. Work up towards all the Storm Giants being active. It does not have a MOBA aspect to it, no. Yet. That's true. Yet. It doesn't have one yet. Alright, well, the Desert Doom coming into play Means that I have to worry about sweepers less. Or they can just block, and then we trade out. I wonder if I was supposed to fire up Hall and attack there. I would have just connected for 14. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to do that. Just like hit him with a truck. Run him over. I'm thinking Orvar just 'cause it's another threat. How Giants been? It's been alright. It definitely feels like we have tools to be competitive into red-black, which is what I'm looking for.
I've learned much during my travels. Let me show you. I am almost sad to see you go.
Oh, man. All right, well, I mean, at least we're not drawing lands for the next few turns. Right, deck? We're not drawing lands for the next few turns now, right? Right? They'd probably chump the Hauler. Well, even if they chumped the Hauler, that would have been good for us, right, Beck? So that's still a good line.
I'm never done for good. May your blade strike true.
I think Fading Hope actually is good to keep here, because I can use it to bounce one of my cards in response to a piece of removal. Or a sweeper. Yeah, I'm interested to see how Vanishing Verse ends up in the metagame once Capenna drops. If Capenna has a sizable impact on Standard and Alchemy, this will be a card you won't really be able to play nearly as much. I don't know. Everybody thought Reflection of the Kiki-Jiki wasn't very good. That card's excellent. I think there's a ton of designs in New Capenna that, like, are hard to evaluate. Because they're just, like, new designs. It's a scry here as well. Replay this. Forgot to attack. Control players, chat. Yeah, me too, R-Large. Rest of the Triumph sounds lovely. Oh, if I would have played The other one I would have drawn a card in the jump block. Yeah, it's a good shout. Right, I forgot that that applies to giants too. Thanks for pointing it out. Pea-sized brain. This was only oh, dang it. I meant to use the hull. That's actually super unfortunate, because now I can't Expressive this turn. I guess that's fine. If I wait till Expressive next turn, I could theoretically get 2 spells with it, so it's probably right to wait. Just play the Den of the Bugbear tapped here. You're a field of ruin. My poor creature lands, chat. Oh. Sweet.
The next few moments will be exciting.
The next few moments will be exciting. Do you think that's what Teferi tells his dates, chat? And Library Exile. Baleful Mastery. I think it's worth negating this. It means I lose the Rimewall Protector, but I get to take the Teferi off the table. So I'm basically trading. I guess I get to keep this too. I don't know. I'd have drawn a card from that as well.
Suppose that's how it was meant.
So that's a tough one. We're going either way on that. Was wondering where all my channel points went, and then I remembered I was a deck lobbyist. These damn millennials. Their avocado votes. And Library Exile. Next turn we actually have enough mana to fire up both creature lands if they don't field us here. Hullbreaker's actually a little bit awkward against Rimewall Protector, because if they bounce this, I get to start stacking up ward on all of my things. I think this is the line. I feel like I'm almost to the point where I don't want to know how long I've been subbed because it reminds me how old I'm getting. Thanks for the 3 years, 6 feet apart. I mean, Painful Bond makes a significant number of their cards uncastable, right? So, go nuts. As you will. Alright. Beat a Hullbreaker Whore. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like this deck overall. Felt pretty reasonable. It really can't be overstated just how much of your deck you get to see playing just these 8 powerful 2-mana card advantage spells, and it definitely feels like the current current Alchemy format is reasonable for playing this slower, grindier game plan like this deck wants to play. Molten Impact was a quality upgrade for the creature matchups, and Hermit felt pretty good in the main as well. I think I liked for Calamity Bearer slightly better than Quakebringer. It's definitely better with Orvar too. Having 5+ cost things with this makes your hands super awkward in the red-black matchup in spots.